Welcome and good evening. Here we are at Scioto, ready to bring you the Unity Lady Mustangs taking on the Cyclones of West Prairie. This is a very, very, very good program in this Unity Lady Mustang squad. Seth Klusmeyer has got a really good group here. Also joined by Sir Charles Bolton. They do a fantastic job down there at Unity. Several junior high champions coming out of some of this group. So, John, going to be a tough task for the Cyclones tonight, but the nice thing is they are at home this evening.
Yeah, and as you said, it will be a tough task for the Cyclones tonight, but as we saw in their game last week, they are able to overcome challenges when they are present, being down in both of the sets in the final varsity matchup, and we're able to overcome big deficits to pull it with wins, so I think we should be in for an interesting matchup tonight.
And we want to thank JoJo's Gaming Parlor, offering the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out the TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH Events, live on the big screen. Come join your friends at JoJo's, located at 776 North Cole Street, Bushnell, and cheer our area teams on to victory. Now, interestingly enough, I did find out that these two I don't think we'll be matched up in a regional together. Honestly, it should be Southeastern getting matched up with West Prairie. Southeastern rolling along, I believe at last report, at 19-0. We will see them here on October 6th. Another one of the good ones around the area, those programs. Seth Klusmeyer, longtime head coach of the Unity Lady Mustangs. I know he's somewhere 400 to 600 coaching wins. Tim Kerr now over 600. Terry Paul closing in on 1,000. So we got some pretty good volleyball in this area, John. We saw that over the weekend a little bit too here at the JV tournament. Macomb, very, very good team. So I'm telling you, volleyball is really good in this area.
Oh, no, it most certainly is. As you said, Coach Paul closing in on our 1,000th win. I'm not sure exactly what number she's at, but that'll be hit within the next year or two, I'm guessing.
And you don't ask Coach Paul, because Coach Paul won't tell you. I know that for sure.
No, but she's very close, yeah.
I jokingly once in a while will refer to her as Hall of Fame head coach or legendary head coach, and I get a scowl whenever I do that to her. Terry, pretty shy in that aspect, has always kind of growled at me for doing stuff like that with her. Well, we're glad you're alongside here. We'll talk about what the state matchups will be. I know the regional will be here at West Prairie in that subsectional. And I've got to look. I didn't actually, I'll admit to it, I didn't exactly pay attention to whether Unity's 1A or 2A. They've been 1A in the past. They might be up in 2A now. Some of the 1A teams around here, Southeastern, South Fulton, West Prairie. Trying to think of some of the others. Now, the 2As, you know, are Rushville Industry, Illini West. Unity's fluctuated. QND has dropped into 2A. Macomb has dropped into 2A. So I know there's a regional, you know, you're going to have some stacked regionals coming up around here. And funny enough, the postseason, really not that far away. We are T-minus 1 month, John, till the postseason, as the last regular season game, most of them scheduled for right around the 20th or 21st of October.
Yeah, and the games last week, I believe, would be the halfway point in the season. Like you said, the season's inching closer, and we're finally getting to see what some of these better teams look like. As tonight we have the Mustangs in town. We're going to get a taste of some of these teams that we might be seeing in our regional.
And I got to give a lot of credit to Seth Klusmeyer. Always been one of those that's really willing to step up and, you know, play the good teams. You know, always been willing to play the QNDs. You know, it hasn't mattered who. In fact, for a little bit, they were down in the Mount Pulaski tournament, which is always a tough tournament. They were down there for years. Not afraid to play anybody. They'll kind of one of those where they'll go anywhere and play anybody, which, if you're going to get better, that's definitely how you need to do things is, play the good competition, John. You're not going to get any better yourself if you just, roll over everybody and have a good record, then you get in the postseason. I've seen it a million times. You get in the postseason and then you get dumped out because your record looks good, but you're not that great.
Yeah, and I was just getting ready to say that as you finish up there. In order to be the best, you have to, of course, beat the best. And like you said, there is very, very many good volleyball programs in this area, and it should make for an exciting postseason, that's for sure.
Well, and I have to tell you, Ed, is it the old Ric Flairism? To be the man, you got to beat the man. Woo!
Nice reference there.
And well, anytime you can use a Ric Flair reference,
That's
you must.
right.
You got to throw that into volleyball. And I was kind of scrolling down through here and trying to catch. Aha. Yes, Mendon Unity must be in Class 1A, because here's in subsectional A out of the Knoxville sectional in Class 2A. Local teams: Beardstown, Illini West, Macomb, Monmouth Roseville, Pittsfield, Quincy Notre Dame, and West Hancock in our area. So they're the ones down out of that, and it must be, Unity must be in Class 1A. I wasn't exactly sure. I know they have grown student-wise over the last several years, and Illini West indeed does at the regional. Now, the Mustangs are in the Greenfield sectional, and they are in with area teams like Camp Point Central, Griggsville, Prairie, Liberty, Unity, Brown County, and Payson. That regional will be at Payson, I would guess most likely. That is where they would go. Now I was looking for the West Prairie one, and here it is. It is out of the Abingdon-Avon sectional. West Prairie has the regional. Those that could come in include United, North Fulton, Lewiston, also West Central, Bushnell Prairie City, Southeastern, South Fulton, or Abingdon-Avon. Just some of the teams that could bubble into that regional. And going to be interesting to see how the IHSA splits them out. I know people cussing, and it is really too bad. You know, if we did the true, what they call sectional complex, you'd seed the top four, they'd go to different regionals, and you'd try to break them up a little bit. But we may get to see the Southeastern Lady Suns early on at a regional here, and that'll be a tall task, but we'll see if the Cyclones are up to it. As I wet my whistle, and I usually do that sometime during the broadcast, those playing the home game consume. And don't forget some of our fine sponsors, including the Community News Brief for all your local news. Subscribe to the Community News Brief Weekly Edition, mailed directly to your home every Friday as an option. You can also receive Monday and Wednesday editions by email. All this for only $42 per year or $38 per year if you're 65 or older. Single copies can be purchased at select locations in Bushnell, Colchester, and Blandonsville. This West Prairie game stream made possible by McDonough Telephone's fiber internet. McDonough Telephone offers lightning fast and reliable fiber internet, video, and phone camera systems to the McDonough County area. Call 309-776-3211 to check your availability. And the two teams greet each other on the court as they get ready for action here. It'll be Unity serving first on the floor for them. Andrea Schaffnet, Olivia Knox, Brooklyn Howell, Lauren Cornwall, Sophia Schaefer, and Hayden Frankel. Serving first is Schaffnet. She'll bring it off of Dunn in the back row. Phelps going to set it to the outside to Beck. Hits it into the net, 1-0 in favor of the Lady Mustangs. They go up by a score of 1-0 here. We'll get West Prairie's lineup in a moment. Serve back row off of Brown. Dunn with a nice save, and then Brown going to bring it through. Picked up there by Frankel. They set it to the outside, bringing it through is Howell, and a little bit out of bounds. Evens us up at one apiece, and that'll bring back Janie Phelps to serve. Janie Phelps, Jersey Brown, Lindsey Dunn, Taylor Richardson, Ava Beck, and Natalie Moore now on the floor. Phelps lets it rip. Serve off the libero up to the net. Richardson pokes it back. Tapped high in the air by Cornwall. Hit into the net, however, by the Mustangs. And the Cyclones take a 2-1 lead. Phelps back to it again. That one, a high floater to Pilkington. Set to the outside, tipping it across is Howell. And now Dunn to Phelps. She'll back set it. Moore going to track it down, lobs it long cross court. Picked up by Cornwall. Set to the outside, tapped across. Dunn's underneath it. It'll go up to the net. Phelps flips it through. Tipped across the net. Richardson pops it high. Unity sends it back. And Moore and Phelps couldn't decide who was going to get it. Drops in between them as they both say, yeah. And now learn a side out over for Unity. Back to serve, Brooklyn Howell. One of a long line of Howells at Unity. Serve into the back row, picked up by Jersey Brown. Phelps on the run to set to Moore. Cuts it and taken in the back row by Howell. They'll set it to the outside, tapped over by Schaefer. Phelps with a set, loaded for Beck. And down the sideline, Frankel is there. Tapped across and down. As putting it down was Knox for the kill. The K-I-L-L, kill. 3-2, 1 point lead here for the Unity Mustangs. And the serve, low line drive, popped off of Dunn. Phelps going to back set it for Beck, and deep and wide for the Cyclones, so it makes it 4-2. Serve again, screaming out of the back row. Brown takes it, Phelps back set, Beck tips, and right underneath it is Cornwall. They're going to set it back to her. She'll send it long and out of bounds. So it makes it 4-3. West Prairie is side out. Ava Beck now at the serve. It is homecoming week here at West Prairie. Football game Friday night. Homecoming game. Serve. Knocked off of Knox. As Ava Beck said, Knox. I'm not sure Knox said who's there. Tied up at 4. Paige Kitchen replacing Lindsey Dunn. As Ava Beck will serve it again, trying to pull the Cyclones into the advantage. Her serve, low line drive, hit sideways. Owl could not quite dig it up, and West Prairie takes the advantage at 5-4. Beck, ready to load it up again. To the serve and into the back row. Howell is there, going to set it out for Cornwall. She'll tip, and Beck brings it up. Phelps to the outside. Kitch loads it across and finds the sideline. In and good. Cuts herself a slice of cake and puts it in for a 6-4 advantage for West Prairie. Taylor Richardson needed it's kind of like a tire change in NASCAR, a hair tie change. Served by Beck, taken in the back row, popped up set for Cornwall. She'll tip it through on the set from Frankel. Now Phelps back sets it for Moore into the back row. Up with it is Howell. Set to the outside this time, brought across. And Phelps brings it up. Brown going to bump it across. Nobody was talking there. To the net, tipped through by Frankel. Phelps underneath it. Brown going to bump it up for Kitch on the outside. Into the blocks. Richardson can't get it. Knox knoxing it down to the floor for a 6-5 side out for the Mustangs. And I know people are going to get tired of the Knox jokes, but couldn't help myself. Served by Cornwall off of Jersey Brown. Drops in and good. A Brown out will make it 6-6. Cornwall comes to it again. Long walk up to it. Off of Beck. Phelps going to pop it high. Kitch is just going to bump it through. Knox touched it and couldn't control. Drops in. Side out back to West Prairie. They lead 7-6. Callie Wright will make her first appearance as they do the weird libero person switch. The 3-man weave brings Jersey Brown to serve. Picked up back row there by Schaefer. Set back for her, right between Beck and Brown, and good. Unity does have the firepower up front. As Knox will rotate out, they'll do that same 3-man weave, or lady weave, depending. Schaffnet comes back in. Pilkington serve. Right side to Brown. Phelps up for right. Back row, Pilkington is there. Frankel sets it high. Partially blocked. Kitch up with it to the net. Phelps able to dig it out and sent across by Beck. Frankel in the middle. Schaffnet taps it through. Brown up with it and not able to recover. So the Mustangs will take the lead. Pilkington eyes it again. Back row to Beck. Phelps keeps it out of the net. Tapped by Wright. Nice save there and help by Frankel and Howell. Up for Wright to tap through. Schaffnet tapped over by Frankel on the tip. And now Phelps will back set it for Moore. Moore with the attack. Taken back row by Howell. Frankel outside. Tapped down by Schaefer and good. Lindsey Dunn will check in. Paige Kitch will go out for West Prairie. 9-7, 2-point advantage here for the Mustangs. Serving it through is Pilkington. Deep back row. Dunn takes it. Beck's going to have to give her a hand. And now Dunn will tip it across. Frankel, the Schaffnet, back to Frankel. Real close to the net. Dug up by Moore. Wright tried to flip it back across and is called for the double hit. The double hit extends the Mustangs' lead. Pilkington brings it. Low line drive off of Beck. And now set up for Moore. Over for Frankel. Tapped. Somebody got a miscommunication there as now they'll bring it over to Dunn. Drops it over off of Schaefer. Set back for her from Frankel. Tipped and played by Brown. Out for Dunn, and I think it's one of those, John, where she was kind of like, do I hit it? Do I tip it? And it became a blip.
An in-betweener, that's what I call that one.
Ah, I like that. You are learning, sir. Served by Pilkington again off Brown. Phelps got to bring it high to Dunn. Saved in the back row there by Howell. Set up for Schaffnet, and Beck digs her up. Phelps just going to tip it through. Pilkington on the run there. Set to the outside. Schaefer off the blocks again. Brown brings it up. Phelps outside for Dunn. A tip and hit the outstick, which, of course, the outstick is always the outstick. We're going to step aside, take this commercial timeout. This is TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH.
MDH has committed to having a top-notch OB-GYN unit.
The new facility, the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center, this is a quality facility that the patients need to match the quality of care.
And then we also have a new clinic, which is state-of-the-art.
And here at McDonough, we have a team. And everybody feels like they're a part of the successes that we have.
As we come back here, you see Charlie Bolton talking to his charges there. I've known Charlie for many, many years. He is one of those, dates all the way back, started at Southeastern many, 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 many years ago. PJ, pre-John. Almost pre-me, but not quite. That's a long time ago, folks.
So in other words, what you're saying is he has quite a bit of experience doing this.
I like how you said that. Yes, that's a much more polite way, the age-sensitive way to say it. Pilkington serve back row, picked up there by Beck. Phelps on the fly. Pops it high, and Beck going to bring it over. Set for Frankel to bring to the outside. Howell, and that one a nice one. Set to the Dunn, and Dunn tries to cross-court it. Cannot, and makes it 13-7. Mustangs starting to run away a little bit here in this game number one. It is best 2 out of 3 falls. Served by Pilkington again. Beck is under it this time. Phelps backs up, gives it to Moore on the back set, and Pilkington with a nice dig. Frankel tips. Dunn's got it. Phelps up with it to right. She'll tip back row. Pilkington right there. Schaffnet brings it across. Beck's got it. Brown up, and Ava Beck brings it through. Back row Howell is there. And Frankel to Schaffnet. She'll punch it through. Beck with a save on the floor. Moore helps it. And Beck brings it through. Pilkington one-hands it, and Schaefer could not track it down. Big, big stop for the Cyclones there, John.
Yeah, West Prairie definitely needed to come up with a play there to start to swing this momentum, and they found it, and we'll see what they can do now with the ball serving.
Natalie Moore serves it off of Cornwall. They bring it up to Schaefer, and Schaefer puts it down. Makes it 14-8. Madison Richmond will come in. Natalie Moore will go out for West Prairie. Shuffling some people around there. Serve. Schaefer drops it in front of Dunn and good. 15-8. Dunn dropped it in there and made it 15-8. At the serve again, Schaefer back row off of Brown. To Phelps, back sets it for Dunn. Off the block, nice job by Schaffnet to recover. Cornwall sets her up, Schaffnet across. And up for Phelps. She'll tip it through. Right there is Cornwall. They'll bring it to the outside. That one tipped over by Howell. And now Phelps going to set it for Dunn for West Prairie. Set up to the front. Frankel to Sheffnet into the back row. Down it goes. 16-8 lead for the Mustangs.
And just when it looked like West Prairie was starting to get a little momentum built back on their side, you see the big kill there a couple points ago, and the Mustangs are starting to run away with this one.
Phelps going to get it from Brown to Beck, who will hit it deep. Schaefer is there. They'll bring it to the outside, hammered across by Howell, and now set back for West Prairie. Dunn, punch shot across, and up with it is Frankel, tipped through there by Cornwall. Phelps back set right, flips it over. Cornwall there, hit back by Schaffnet. Beck just kind of one-handed, keeps alive. Brown, and now Beck brings it through. Teams playing some long rallies here. Schaffnet on the fly to Brown, to Phelps, set in the middle for right, and couldn't quite get it. And I tell you, if you've watched Unity for many years like I have, the Lady Mustangs will defense you to death. I've seen them do it for many years. And they just don't make mistakes. Phelps up with it. The attack by Beck off of Pilkington to the net, flipped over. Phelps had to take it. Brown now to Beck. She'll load it across, and it's dug there by Howell. Schaffnet back to Howell. Back row, Brown digs it up. Phelps set up for Beck, and that one high deep and generally unplayable.
Yeah, and to your point, we see the Mustangs here able to take control of this game, not really through any big hits or big plays, but just playing solid defense, not making any mistakes, and as you can see, it's been very effective.
And Cornwall going to get it after brought over by West Prairie. Stuffed down the block. West Prairie trying to keep it alive, just couldn't. As Howell brings it in, and Coach Drew Schneider will take another timeout. We'll step aside as well. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
Well, we were camping, and then I got a phone call from my neighbor and said that we got hit by a storm. He said, "You better come home because there's no roof." He said, "I look up and see the sky." He didn't know what you were going to do, where you're going to go, but Country Financial took care of us.
We anticipate something that we hope never happens, but when it happens, we are there to make good on our promise.
We are back here at Scioto. You see the Mustangs kind of running away, 19-8 leader. I probably watched the Mustangs for 20, 21, maybe 22 years, and this has been Seth Klissmeyer's, calling card. I mean, they wear you out. They just defense you to death and wear you out. And just continuing that. Serve brought across by Schaefer. Beck brings it up. Phelps goes to work for right on the long run up. And as she hits the home run ball, Cleveland wins the pennant. Boy, and I got $1 if you know what that movie came from, or that movie, early Tom Hanks movie. Serve off of Brown. Phelps going to flip it through, puts it in and good. Janie Phelps. That'll make a dad proud, which, of course, is me. Is she able to knock that one in? Paige Kitch now with the serve. West Prairie going to have to build on this. Frankel sets it up. Schaffnet hammers it off the blocks with the kiss and puts it in, 21-9. Lindsey Dunn will come in, and Paige Kitch will go out. We'll have a couple substitutions for the Mustangs. Olivia Keith is going to replace Cornwall. And also coming in is Isabella Voth. She replaces Howell. Frankel Eyes brings across. Jersey Brown up with it. Phelps going to set it long to Beck. Tips it. And now brought up. They'll bring it to Keefe. Will set it up. Schaffnet just a little bit long. Cyclones will jump into double digits and make it 21-10. And again, it's homecoming week. Looks like the Crank Zone dressed in their Hawaiian or beach gear. I had a Hawaiian shirt on earlier today. Switched it for my TSSR gear. Callie Wright serves. Pilkington digs it up. Frankel going to back set it to Schaffnet. And Dunn digs it up for West Prairie. Right now to Beck. Brings it across. And up with it is Schaefer in the back row. They set it to the outside. Hitting it through was Voth. and knocking it down and good. 22-10 here. The Mustangs again running away. Sheffnit back once again. Eyes it, flies it, and Dunn brings it up. Phelps on the run, bumps it up for Beck, tips, and drops it in and good in front of Voss. So West Prairie trying to slowly claw their way in, running out of time. Natalie Moore in, and out comes Madison Richmond. Janie Phelps will serve for West Prairie. Serve down the line, popped up there, and with the load is Knox, and she'll hit it cross court and out of bounds. So these Cyclones will make it 22-12. Phelps cutting the sideline, now brings kind of a sidewinder the other way. Voth taps it up, flipped over by Keefe, and Taylor Richardson says, thanks for the gumball, Mickey.
And while the Mustangs have a big lead here late, it's very hard to count this West Prairie team out, as that one will go off the hands of the blockers and land inbounds. Point for the Mustangs. Like I said, it's hard to count this West Prairie Cyclones team out. Through many, many years, they have been known to come back in their games and, if not win, at least make them competitive. So.
And now back to let's see, as Schaefer goes out. I'll catch you in just a moment. Voth back to serve. Serve off of Jersey Brown. Dunn helps it out, and Dunn and Phelps collided. Hope they're okay. Tipped up for Knox in the middle, and she hit it into the net. And makes it 23-13. Paige Kitch coming on. Lindsey Dunn going out for West Prairie. I said hoping Dunn's okay. And I got a report, happy to report my young ladies only down 10-5 at F. I coach 5th and 6th grade basketball too. Tap is across, and nice return by Beck from Voth. Set up front, lobbed over by number 8, Gordon. And we've got a net violation on the Cyclones, so game point for Unity. Game point for the Mustangs. That brings back Olivia Keefe to serve. Keefe, high, deep floater. Brown's underneath it. Phelps to the net outside for Kitch. Pilkington, whoopsie, as she kind of went to tap it up and went backwards on her. So if the Cyclones score 10 in a row, they can prevent Unity from winning this. A side out means a win for the Mustangs in game one. Jersey Brown eyes it. Short shot. Tipped up front there by Gordon. She'll be set back up from Frankel, and Kitch with it. Phelps taps it through. Send to the front. Frankel going to bring it outside. It is Gordon once again, and now Phelps brings it on the way. Bounced over by Kitch. Keefe keeps it alive. Knox. Gordon. Back row. Brown digs it up. Back set for Moore. She'll tap it over. Pilkington's there. Frankel for Knox for the finisher. Moore can't quite dig it. And that's a game one win for the Mustangs. They take it 25-14. That'll usher us into game number 2. Means we need to step aside. Thanks to some of our very fine sponsors on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by
Dry needling is where you insert a filiform needle into a muscle, a tendon, a ligament, sometimes a bone, and it promotes blood flow and circulation so that it heals that particular painful area.
And that's what happens when we don't pay attention. Do want to thank our fine folks with our supporting us here, our family support. And we are back here at West Prairie, of course, all the way live, doing some broadcast here. Let us know where you're listening to us from, wherever you are on the World Wide Web. We would love to hear from you, so let us know where you're at, where you're listening to. Be very interested where you are. I know the 5th and 6th graders near and dear to my heart because that's my team. I'm here with you guys, though. They're playing tonight down at Rushville Industry. I know tomorrow night we'll be at home at Good Hope, if you want to come out and watch, playing South Fulton. Want to thank again our fine sponsors like Tom Conklin State Farm. Talk to Daphne or Evan today at Tom Conklin State Farm in Macomb for surprisingly great rates. Call them at 309-837-1200 or stop and see them at 1221 West Jackson Street in Macomb. United Community Bank's services are designed to keep you in the game when you are on the go. With online and mobile banking that's nothing but net to friendly services you can count on from the leader of community banking, choosing UCB is always a slam dunk. Visit a location near you with branches in Bushnell, Colchester, and at 2 in Macomb. UCB is member FDIC. Good Hope Gardens located at 445 East Main Street, Good Hope, just north of the North Elementary School, or east of North Elementary School, open April through October, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. For all your fresh produce needs, they've got the pumpkins out. See their Facebook page for updates. Come see where it's growing. Good Hope Gardens. And Cyclones and Mustangs going at it to start game 2. Phelps going to set it up for Richardson. Doug in the back row, I believe that's Schaefer, now set to the outside. And bringing it across is Cornwall. Phelps going to load it up for Beck for West Prairie. Partially touched, returned, and kept alive there by Schaefer. Schaffnet brings it over for Unity. And Phelps now up to Clark. And she hit the net as she went into it. So will earn the Mustangs a 1-0 lead. Andrea Schaffnet loads it up, sends it through, and Brown able to get it up, knocks it back down. Phelps not able to handle it. 2-0 Mustangs here. They won the first 25-14. Cyclones trying to get back into it here. Schaffnet again. Off Brown, high in the air to Phelps. Back set for Beck. She'll cut court, and it was out of bounds. So 3-0 Unity. Serve off of Brown. Back set for Beck. And popped up in the back row by Schaefer. Frankel going to bring it outside. Tapped across and down by Cornwall. Unity starting to run away with game number 2. And really, John, they need something defensively because this is in danger of being a runaway.
Yeah, Unity carrying over the momentum they built in the last game there towards the end, bringing it into this game. So hopefully West Prairie can come up with a big play, maybe a big hit, big block to start to turn this momentum in their favor and get this game a little closer than what it is right now.
Lindsey Dunn comes out. Paige Kitch comes in as Ava Beck will be back to serve it. Beck lets a screaming line drive go. Pilkington up with it. They load it for Knox off the blocks, and Phelps gets it. Brown set up for Beck. Deep back row to Schaefer. Tapped over by Frankel. Beck is there. Phelps tries to knock it away from Knox. Keeps it alive. Now Frankel up to Cornwall. Hits it into the net, and that's a big defensive stop there for West Prairie.
Yeah, West Prairie coming with some good plays there, saving the ball, and ended up getting some points out of it.
Ava Beck, line drive again. Pilkington up with it. Schaefer helps and then tapped through. Actually, it was backwards. Howell to Schaefer. Howell up with it again. They bring it on the outside. Tapped over by Howell. West Prairie plays, and Brown bumps it through. A little confusion there. Unity, they couldn't figure out who was going to get it as Schaefer kind of one-handed it up. So 4-3, West Prairie making their way back in. Ava Beck lets it go off of Pilkington. Bumped high, and then Cornwall taps it into the net. Cyclones have tied it up.
Yeah, and the momentum really swinging in the favor of the Cyclones here. Have to take advantage of the very few mistakes that the Mustangs make, and so far in this set, they are doing that.
Beck, line drive. Schaefer brings it up. Cornwall helps it out. Knox lobs deep and out of bounds. So the Cyclones roaring right back in, John. Take a 1-point lead. Beck. Back row, Pilkington is there. Frankel for Knox again, this time blocked by Richardson. Popped high, Cornwall for Knox again. Clark pops it up. Phelps on the fly to Kitch. And across off of Howell. Set back from her for Frankel. She'll hit it into the net. And the Cyclones take a 2-point lead. Cyclones really battling back in this game number 2. As Beck goes to it, brings it across. Pilkington there needs Frankel to help. Bumped over by Cornwall, played in the back row by Beck. Phelps going to bring it outside for Paige Kitch. She'll cross court it and set up. Frankel pops it up. Cornwall bumps it over. Beck's got it for West Prairie for Kitch to bring across. Dug in the back row by Schaefer. Frankel over with it. Phelps popped high. Beck helps it out. Now Clark tries to clean it up, and out of bounds it goes. 6-5, Unity side out here. As serving on the way. And a screaming line drive by Howell. Phelps up to Kitch. She'll tip, run it long, and Schaefer not able to get it. And West Prairie gets it back. They lead it now by a score of 7-5. Cyclones hanging tough in here. Callie Wright comes in. Richardson out as Brown serves. Cornwall takes it in the back row. Frankel helps it high. Schaefer into the net, and Wright couldn't get a hold of it, so 7-6 side out back over to Unity. And now Cornwall comes to it. Cornwall serves off of Kitch. Phelps high in the air with it over to Beck, who hits it into the net, and we are tied. Mustangs trying to take advantage here. Cornwall back again, serves to Beck, high to the net, and tapped down by Schaefer and good. Phelps just couldn't get high enough to get a hold of it.
Refs there, I think they wanted to call a net violation, ended up changing their mind.
I think they were going to try to call Knox for being over. Cornwall again. Brown's up with it. Phelps high in the air, fake by Wright over to Kitch. Back row Pilkington is there. Knox as nobody came and get it. Schaefer hit it, but right into the outstick. And a side out back over to West Prairie. Natalie Moore in. Annika Clark will go out. And they tried to go a little too fast there. Official Lisa Rosendale hadn't caught up to him yet. Natalie Moore. That one hits Callie Wright. Never want to do that to a teammate. 9-8, 1 point advantage now for the Mustang. Madison Richmond in, Moore out. As Pilkington will serve. Serve to Brown. Phelps going to back set it for Kitch off the blocks, and a one-hand try by Pilkington. She couldn't bring it in. We're tied, 9-9, not the German-speaking portion of our program, but our score. Kitch, slap dribbles with it, serves it through. Cornwall up high in the air with it. Helped out by Schaffnet, bumped over by Cornwall. Phelps going to set it up for Wright, blocked, kept alive by Schaefer, and now Frankel taps it. Brown to Phelps, tips. Cornwall there, Frankel loaded up. It is Schaefer, dug by Brown. Phelps on the run with it, over to Beck. She'll hammer it off the hand of Pilkington and down. And it makes it 10-9 West Prairie. Cyclones hanging in this one.
And I'm not sure if our marks are picking up, but the gym has really come alive here as West Prairie is able to maintain this lead. Hopefully the girls can feed off some of this crowd response and get the momentum building in their favor.
Schaefer taps it through. Brown to Phelps. She'll set it. And Beck brings it through, but out of bounds. We're tied at 10. Served by Schaefer, low line drive off Beck. Phelps going to come to the outside to Beck, low line drive, Schaefer is there. Frankel tipped and drops it right where Beck was. Just couldn't get back to it. Lindsey Dunn will come in, good to see her come back in as Paige Kitch goes out. 11-10, Mustangs lead it here by 1. Served by Schaefer. Off of Brown in the back row. Phelps going to back set it right, loads up. A lob to Schaefer, right back. Frankel pops to the middle to Schaffnet, and Dunn digs it up. Over to Beck, off the blocks. Pilkington's there, and loaded on the outside. Howell pounds it down. Phelps tips it back over, flip back over by Frankel. And it is called a lift. She kind of palmed it a little bit.
Much to the pleasure of Coach Paul on that one, as she was freaking out on the sidelines, wanting to get that call to go in her favor.
11-11 tie. Serve by Wright, taken by Pilkington. Frankel going to back set it. Schaffnet this time, high, deep, and generally unplayable. Cyclones lead 12-11. Serve by Wright into the net, and back it comes to Unity. Tied up 12-12. Jersey Brown back in, replacing Wright. As Frankel will load it. Serves it off of Dunn. Up to Phelps, to Beck. She'll miss hit it, and the Mustangs reclaim the lead at 13-12. Coming to it again off of Beck. Phelps gonna load the quick load to Richardson. Creams that one to the back wall. Serve again, back row. 14-12 lead here for the Mustangs. Serve to Beck. Schaefer pops it high. They're gonna bring it outside. Howell, laser beam out of bounds. 14-13, side out over to the Cyclones. Richmond in and out, and Annika Clark in. Phelps will now serve it. Got a substitution as Howell will come out, and it'll be Voth that comes in. Served by Phelps, back row off Schaefer. Tipped high for Frankel, stuffed by Richardson. And Beck sends it back, tipped over by Frankel, done up with it, couldn't handle it. And the Mustangs will get a point. Apologize, I'm going to reset the score. Actually, I hit it to 0. So Frankel off of Brown, and that one drops. And the big thing here is the timeout. They have got to stop the momentum of these Mustangs. We'll thank some of our very fine sponsors, including Country Financial agent Brett Powell. Your farm is your legacy. As a leading farm insurer, Country Financial is here to help protect it. Call Brett Powell, your local country rep, at 309-652-3889 for a free quote today. Yetter Farm Equipment, with facilities in Colchester and Macomb, Illinois, is an agricultural equipment manufacturer that has been in business since 1930 and is currently hiring. Start a new career with excellent benefits and starting hourly wages of $18 to $24 per hour. For more information, call 309-776-4111 or visit them online at www.yetterco.com/career. Just some of our fine sponsors today, including JoJo's Gaming Parlor. They offer the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out TSSR Game Time Live events on the big screens. Come and see your friends at JoJo's in Bushnell. Knox going to bring one back for Unity. Phelps going to keep it high to Beck. Tips it back row, and right there is Schaefer. Out to the outside. Cornwall stuffed. Unity trying to save it. Nice job by Beck and Richardson. That makes it 16-14. Lindsay Dunn out. Paige Kitch in. Serve by Beck off of Pilkington. Popped over by Frankel, and Phelps could not get it. Just a little bit too tall there. Make it 17-14. 3-point lead for Unity as they try to take this first one home. And that is going to be Voth back to serve again. Voth lets it go. Off Beck up to the net and knocks it back down. Yes, indeed, more Knox jokes. Sorry, folks, can't help it. Serve by Voth again. Brown at the back row. Phelps up with it. Over for Kitch. She'll hit a laser beam off Pilkin into the net. Richardson pounds it. Back up there. Tipped and kept alive by Beck. Pilkington has it. Frankel on the outside. Schaefer off the blocks. Brown can't get it. And the lead jumps out to 5 at 19-14. In danger of getting away. Voth coming to it again. Off of Beck, pop tie by Phelps. Over to Kitch, and now dug in the back row by Voth. Frankel back set for Cornwall, cross courts with it, up by Phelps. Beck loads it for Clark. She'll tip it into the net, and they're not going to say it went across in the recommended daily allowance of 3 hits. Voth, serve off of Beck, high in the air. Popped up for Richardson, hits it into the net, makes it 21-14, and really becoming kind of a runaway at this point. Got substitution by Charlie Bolton as Keefe and Gordon will come in. Cornwall and Knox will come out. Voth serves off of Brown. Phelps gets it and couldn't quite get it. Ran into the bleachers, 22-14. She's going to load it up again. Serve off of Kitch, high in the air. Phelps over to Kitch, tapped up. And now Gordon brings it back through. Beck gonna play it. Phelps gonna load it for Kitch. She'll tip a little wide again. Schaefer under it. Frankel gonna load her back up into the back row and out. So a much needed reprieve by the Cyclones. And now Voth is going to come out as they bring Howell back in the back row. Brown unloads it, and that one off of Keefe, tipped over by Frankel. Beck keeps it alive. Clark up with it, and that one goes in on the sideline. Clark catches it in. It's 22-16. And that'll bring back Jersey Brown to let it fly once again. Brown, back row, Keefe. That one didn't look pretty, but guess it was okay. Phelps up with it to right, tips, Frankel up. Keefe gonna bring it outside for Schaefer and dug by Brown. Phelps over to Kitch, lobs it back row, and they're gonna say it was beyond the out stick. So 23-16. It's gonna bring back Olivia Keefe. Keefe off of Beck, up to Phelps, over to Kitch, and Pilkington helps it up. Frankel one-hands it, Schaefer over, Kitch under it. Phelps back sets it for Clark, who hits it into the net, and it is game point at 24. 24-16. Serve into the net, and that'll bring it over to West Prairie. Same situation. They got to get on a run here. Nat Moore comes in. She'll be back to serve. Serve by Moore, back row. High in the air, outside for Gordon. Over to Brown. Now set up on the outside. It is Kitch. Bring it over. Pilkington popping an eye. Howell helps it out. Schaefer with it. And Brown is there. Phelps going to set it up for right in the middle. She'll tip, and Frankel's there. Back to Gordon. And Brown's there to dig again. Load up for Kitch. She'll tip. Keefe at the floor. Frankel to right. Phelps keeps it alive, but can't handle it there. Down and good. And a Unity takes it home in two. 25-14. 25-17. That's going to mean we'll talk a little bit here. Some of the things going on. We're going to head to the varsity contest in just a little bit. Unity Lady Mustangs getting the win here. We do want to thank folks like McDonough District Hospital Rehabilitation Center as best of the best at McDonough County. Let their experience and dedicated sports medicine and rehabilitation staff show you why MDH has been voted best of the best in 2017, 18, 19, again in 20. 3 convenient locations to serve you, 2 in Macomb and 1 in Bushnell. And that going to wrap up our broadcast there. We'll switch and we'll head to the varsity stream. So if you're watching along with us, wherever you are, we'll be back in just a little bit to bring you the varsity contest.